Tricia, I want to talk a little bit about the Venezuelan people who are in the United States, especially those that are here under that temporary protected status. There's been some discussion in recent days, given the capture of Maduro, about if that temporary protected status is indeed going to end or if there's going to be a new discussion regarding it. What can you tell us about that program?
Well, that program, temporary protected status, is meant to be just that, which is temporary. And we've seen too many times the loss of integrity in that system. We've seen people come over from Venezuela who are members of Tren de Aragua. They entered this country legally using temporary protected status. Others had vicious criminal rap sheets, and we need to make sure that that program is protected. Unfortunately, we saw it being exploited under the Biden administration to rubber stamp these individuals in. So I'm not seeing any changes to our posture on this. I think the great news for those who are here from Venezuela on temporary protected status is that they can now go home with hope for their country, a country that they love, that there's going to be peace, prosperity, and stability. Tommy.
Tricia, you look at the Maduro regime, about 8 million people left Venezuela as refugees, many of them as refugees. Hundreds of thousands of them ended up in the United States. Of course, the hope is that the country will get better, the people will go back home, and everything will work out. But is there a concern that perhaps what could follow is instability and maybe more people might leave Venezuela?
I think that of course, is a concern. I think that's a concern for the neighboring countries. Secretary Noem has, been to Brazil, Colombia, these other countries in the region. And of course, they have voiced such concerns that this mass migration from Venezuela, of course, as you mentioned, 8 million people leaving, how that has massive social resource constraints as well as economic consequences for these neighboring countries. Of course, as well, the United States, because we did allow an open border for 4 years. I think it's yet to be seen what's going to happen during this transition. But of course, that is something that we're aware of. But it's a new regime in the United States under President Trump. We are only letting those who come into this country legally. We are only letting those come into this country using the proper protocols, and we're no longer allowing our legal immigration system to be exploited. So these are certainly discussions that are going to be happening in the coming days.